The deep past, geological formation. The foundation, 2 billion years ago. The story of the Grand Canyon begins deep within the Earth's crust, nearly 2 billion years ago. 1.8 billion years ago, the oldest rocks at the very bottom of the canyon, known as the Vishnu Schist, were formed when volcanic islands collided with the continent. Intense heat and pressure transformed these ancient igneous and sedimentary rocks into dark, crystalline metamorphic rock. The layer cake, from 1.25 billion to 270 million years ago. Over hundreds of millions of years, the region was repeatedly covered by ancient oceans and deserts. These environments deposited the horizontal layers of sedimentary rock that formed the upper walls of the canyon, layers like sandstone, shale, and limestone. The youngest layer, the Kaibab limestone, caps the rim and is approximately 270 million years old. The uplift and the river, 75 to 5 million years ago. About 75 million years ago, tectonic forces began a massive process of uplift, pushing the entire region up to form the Colorado Plateau. As the plateau slowly rose, the mighty Colorado River began to establish its course. Approximately 5 to 6 million years ago, the river started cutting down through the rising rock layers, using the sand and gravel it carried like sandpaper to carve the enormous gorge we see today. Ancient to early modern human history. The first people, 12,000 years ago. Long before any European explorers saw the canyon, it was a sacred home to indigenous cultures. Paleo-Indians, circa 12,000 years ago. The first evidence of human presence in the area dates back to the last ice age, when early inhabitants, or Paleo-Indians, hunted large, now extinct animals like the giant sloth. Artifacts like split-twig animal figurines used in ritual date back about 4,000 years. Ancient dwellers, 4,000 to 800 years ago. Successive groups including the ancestral Puebloans, or often called Anasazi, and the Kahonana, lived in and around the canyon. They built cliff dwellings, farmed the canyon lands, and left behind rock art and ruins that are still visible. Associated tribes. Today, 11 traditionally associated tribes, including the Havasupai, Hualapai, Navajo, Hopi, and Paiute, consider the Grand Canyon their ancestral home and maintain a deep cultural and spiritual connection to the land and the river. The Havasupai, for instance, have lived in a side canyon for over 800 years. European exploration and American surveyors, 1540 to late 1800s. 1540. The first recorded European sighting was by Spanish explorer Garcia López de Cárdenas, who traveled with Hopi guides searching for water. The Spanish ultimately deemed the chasm too formidable to cross. 1869. After the Civil War, Major John Wesley Powell, a one-armed geologist and explorer, led the first successful river expedition through the entire length of the canyon. His detailed maps and scientific reports introduced the canyon to the American public and laid the foundation for modern geological understanding. 3. The modern era, preservation and tourism. The age of the entrepreneur and the conservationist, 1880s to 1919. Mining and railroads. In the late 19th century, prospectors came to the rims, attempting to mine for copper and asbestos. However, entrepreneurs quickly realized the greater commercial value of tourism. In 1901, the Santa Fe Railroad completed a spur line to the South Rim, dramatically increasing visitation and making the Grand Canyon an international tourist destination. Protection. In 1903, President Theodore Roosevelt visited the canyon and became its staunchest defender, famously declaring, "Leave it as it is. You cannot improve on it. The ages have been at work on it, and man can only mar it." He used executive power to designate the area a federal game preserve, and later in 1908, a national monument. 1919. National Park status. Following Roosevelt's efforts, the Grand Canyon was officially established as a United States National Park by an act of Congress and President Woodrow Wilson. The present day. Today, the Grand Canyon is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the world's most visited natural wonders. The Colorado River continues its slow work of erosion, though the pace has been altered by large projects like the Hoover Dam and Glen Canyon Dam, which regulate the river's flow and sediment load. The park remains a focal point for geological research, conservation efforts, and honoring the enduring cultural ties of the Native American tribes who first called it home.